Genesis 45 is one of the most emotional chapters in all of Scripture. After years of separation, betrayal, and hidden identity, Joseph finally reveals himself to his brothers, and grace triumphs over guilt. Joseph could no longer control himself before all who stood by. He cried out, "Make everyone go out from me." So there was no one with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. He wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh was told. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed and terrified at his presence. Joseph said, "Come near to me, please," and they came near. He said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. But do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are yet 5 more years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. God sent me before you to preserve a remnant on earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of all his household and ruler over all the land of Egypt." Joseph urged them, "Hurry, go up to my father and say, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not delay. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children. There I will provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine to come, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty.'" Then he fell upon Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. He kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. Afterward, his brothers talked with him. The report was heard in Pharaoh's house, "Joseph's brothers have come." Pharaoh and his servants were pleased. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Say to your brothers, do this. Load your beasts and go back to Canaan. Take your father and your households and come to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat the fat of the land." Joseph gave his brothers wagons according to the command of Pharaoh, and provisions for the journey. To each of them he gave a change of clothes, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothes. To his father he sent 10 donkeys loaded with the best goods of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and provisions for the journey. He said to his brothers as they departed, "Do not quarrel on the way." So they went up from Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to their father Jacob. They told him, "Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt." Jacob's heart grew numb, for he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words of Joseph, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent, the spirit of Jacob revived. And Israel said, "It is enough, Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." Genesis 45 shows the power of forgiveness. Joseph wept over the very men who had betrayed him, not with anger, but with mercy. What they intended for evil, God had turned to good. Joseph's words, "God sent me before you," remind us that even in betrayal, suffering, and loss, God's providence is at work to bring salvation. This chapter also shows reconciliation in action. Guilt was confessed, grace was given, and a broken family was restored. Through Joseph's tears and forgiveness, God was preparing the nation of Israel to survive and thrive. Next comes Genesis 46. Jacob sets out for Egypt. God speaks to him in visions, and the family of Israel begins their journey into the land where they will become a great nation.